The night is gentle and quiet. Soft darkness rests against the windows, and a low golden light glows in the cozy kitchen. Shadows fall in rounded edges across the floor, and everything feels unhurried and safe. Warmth hangs in the air, a calm, steady warmth that seems to hold the whole room. The counters are clear, the sink is quiet, and the sounds of the day have faded away. The world outside can wait. Here, there is only this soft pool of light and the promise of a peaceful night. The hum of an appliance in the background is low and soothing, like a distant lullaby that never quite reaches a full note. The air smells faintly of something comforting, maybe vanilla or butter, or simply the familiar scent of a kitchen at rest. Every surface feels still. Every object seems to be resting with you. In this space, time loosens its grip. Minutes do not need to be counted. Nothing needs to be rushed or finished. Everything that mattered during the day has been gently set down, at least for now. The only task is to breathe, to soften, and to let the body understand that it is safe to relax. On the counter, a simple mixing bowl waits. The curve of the bowl catches the soft light, and the inside shines faintly, like a quiet invitation. Nearby, there is a wooden spoon, smooth from years of gentle use. Their presence is comforting, not demanding. They are here for a slow, easy kind of night, with no pressure to do anything perfectly. The floor underfoot feels steady and solid. If bare feet touch it, the surface is cool and grounding, a calm contrast to the warm air of the room. Each step could be slow and deliberate, almost like a tiny private ritual of arriving fully in this moment. No need to hurry through the space. The kitchen welcomes every slow movement. Somewhere, a clock ticks softly. The sound is not sharp or insistent. It is faint and steady, like a heartbeat in the background of the room. With each tick, the day drifts a little farther away, and the night feels a little deeper, a little quieter. Time is still moving, but there is nothing you need to keep up with. The light overhead is gentle, not bright. It pools over the counter, the bowl, the spoon, and leaves the rest of the kitchen wrapped in a comfortable dimness. Corners fade into soft shadow. Cabinets stand calm and still. This small circle of light feels like a little refuge, a place where only kind thoughts are allowed to stay. In this cozy kitchen, the mind does not need to solve anything. No decisions, no plans, no lists. Thoughts can drift in and out like slow clouds, noticed and then allowed to float away. The quiet sounds of the room hold them, soften them, and let them pass. A gentle breath fills the space. The inhale is easy, smooth, and unforced. The exhale releases a little more of the day each time, like setting down a heavy bag that was carried for too long. Shoulders can lower, the jaw can loosen, the space between eyebrows can smooth. There is room here for the whole body to let go. On the stove, nothing boils or sizzles. The burners rest cool and quiet. Nothing is urgent. All the activity that might belong to a bright, busy kitchen has been left behind. The night chooses a slower rhythm. The idea of baking tonight is soft and comforting, more like a story unfolding than a task to complete. Imagining the gentle movements ahead brings a feeling of calm. The slow gathering of simple ingredients, the careful stirring in a steady circle, the quiet waiting as warmth does its work. Each step is unhurried and forgiving, designed to soothe rather than to impress. The kitchen feels like a trusted friend, one that asks for nothing and offers only comfort. The walls of the room hold the warmth close. They keep out the chill of the night and any noise from the world beyond. Inside this space, the sound of a small clink of ceramic, the soft brush of fabric, or the whisper of a hand over a countertop becomes part of a gentle lullaby. Every tiny sound says the same thing. It is safe to slow down. There is a sense that this night has been made just for rest, not for achievement, not for effort, only for easing into a slower, softer way of being. The glow of the kitchen light and the steady quiet around it create a kind of protective circle where nothing demanding is allowed to cross the boundary. The body begins to understand this message. Muscles may feel a little heavier in a pleasant way, as if gravity has become a soft blanket, encouraging everything to sink down and settle. Eyes might want to linger in half-closed comfort, not fully awake and not yet fully asleep, hovering in that tender space between. In this gentle half-light, even simple objects feel reassuring. A folded kitchen towel resting on the counter, a small jar of sugar catching the light along its glass edges, a canister of flour waiting patiently in the corner. Nothing is out of place. Nothing is harsh or sharp. The room feels as if it has taken a slow, deep breath on your behalf. The air itself seems to move with care. If a draft slips under the door or along the windowsill, it is light and kind, barely enough to stir the air. It only serves to remind that the world outside is still turning, while this quiet spot remains calm and held. The cozy kitchen is like a pause within the night, a gentle place between one moment and the next. Here, thoughts can grow softer. Any stray worry that drifts in can be greeted with the same warmth the room offers. Not pushed away, simply acknowledged, and then set gently on a distant shelf where it can rest until a brighter time. The mind does not need to push or control anything. It is enough simply to be here, breathing in this peaceful space. The sense of being held grows stronger by the walls, by the warmth, by the soft light and the familiar shapes. It feels like being wrapped in a quiet blanket made of scent, sound, and gentle memory. The kitchen is more than a room. It is an embrace that does not tighten or loosen, only rests around you in steady comfort. As the night deepens, the room seems to grow even quieter. The little sounds soften further, fading into the background until they are just hints of sound, almost felt more than heard. The light remains warm and constant, like a small star that stays when all others go dim. This humble kitchen, with its waiting bowl and peaceful silence, becomes a doorway into deep rest. Nothing more is required. No action, no effort, no striving. Just an easy settling, like flour drifting down through a sifter, slow and light, coming to rest without a sound. The night will hold you here, in this small island of warmth and calm, as long as it needs to. And as the quiet of the kitchen seeps gently into every part of you, the mind and body can relax into the soft, soothing stillness of this warm night, letting thoughts grow distant and faint, until they too become part of the calm, and everything simply rests. The soft glow of evening settles over the cozy kitchen. Warm lamplight pools gently across the counters, stretching into the quiet corners of the room. The air feels still and kind, as if the whole space has taken a slow breath and now waits in peaceful silence. The faint light from the oven adds a deeper warmth, a soft amber tone that feels steady and comforting. It flickers just enough to create gentle movement in the room, tiny shifts of brightness that drift across the surfaces without ever disturbing the calm. Along the counter, the light rests in smooth, calm shapes. A mixing bowl catches the glow, its curved surface reflecting a soft shimmer that feels easy on the eyes. The shine is gentle, almost sleepy, as if the bowl itself is relaxing into the quiet of the night. Shadows blend softly behind objects, creating a calm contrast that makes every warm glow feel even more soothing. Nothing is harsh, nothing is sharp. The entire room seems wrapped in a smooth blanket of dim, peaceful light. The way the light touches the floor invites slow steps and unhurried movements. Each shift of weight could be soft and deliberate, the cool surface beneath encouraging a gentle grounding. The room feels patient, welcoming every small motion as part of its slow rhythm. The oven's faint hum adds a quiet undertone, steady and low. It is the kind of sound that melts into the background, like a distant lullaby humming from another room. This tiny vibration settles through the air, adding depth to the stillness without ever disturbing it. On the nearby wall, the lamplight glows in a smooth arc, not too bright, not too dim, just enough to make the room feel safe and familiar. The edges of the room soften in the shadows, leaving only what is needed: warm light, gentle shapes, and a sense of ease that spreads with every breath. A quiet calm settles across the countertops. The mixing bowl, the spoon beside it, even the small jars resting in their places, they all seem to glow faintly in the warm light, as if they too are settling into the slow comfort of the evening. The soft reflections ripple slightly when someone moves, just a gentle shift in brightness that mirrors the relaxed pace of the night. Each gleam is small and soothing, catching the eye long enough to soften it, then fading back into stillness. Now the air feels warmer, touched by the glow of the oven. The warmth spreads gradually, like a calm wave rolling through the room. It encourages the body to loosen, to sink a little deeper into comfort, to feel supported by the quiet around it. The ceiling above glows faintly in the lamplight. Its gentle brightness wraps the room from above, creating a sense of shelter. The kitchen becomes its own small world, closed off from the rush and noise of the day. Inside this warm space, only the soft evening light exists. A peaceful silence covers everything. Even the tiny sounds, the faint tick from a distant clock, the soft settling of the house, blend into the atmosphere, becoming part of the slow rhythm that fills the room. Nothing startles, nothing interrupts. Everything folds into a calm, steady hum. In this moment, awareness becomes warm and dreamy. The eyes may linger on the soft glow along the edges of the mixing bowl. The mind may drift toward the gentle shimmer on the stovetop. Each point of light feels like a small, comforting heartbeat within the space. As the evening deepens, the glow grows even softer. The lamplight settles a little more into itself, becoming a warm, steady pool. The oven's amber light flickers gently, adding just enough motion to keep the room feeling alive, yet never rushing, never pushing forward. The colors in the room grow deeper. Gold melts into amber. Amber melts into soft brown shadows. Every surface feels touched by warmth, ready to carry anyone who steps inside into a quieter state of mind. The slow play of light across the bowl and countertops invites a dreamy quiet. It becomes easy to imagine smoothing a hand along a wooden surface, feeling the familiar texture beneath warm fingers. The light makes even simple gestures feel tender and slow. The soft glow reflects off the spoon on the counter. Its shape is calm, its shine gentle. No sparkle, no glare, just a smooth reflection, like a memory of sunlight softened into evening warmth. Seeing it resting there adds another layer of comfort to the room. A calm sense of presence fills the space. Not a heavy presence, but a light, comforting one. The kind that settles around the shoulders, easing the muscles along the neck and back. The kind that lets the body feel unhurried and deeply welcome. The gentle light seems to slow time itself. Seconds drift, minutes soften. The warm glow creates its own pace, a quiet rhythm that the mind naturally falls into. Thinking becomes slower, easier, more peaceful. Breathing starts to match this slower rhythm. Each inhale gathers warmth from the room. Each exhale releases a little more tension, letting it dissolve into the soft air. The light feels almost like a guide, encouraging each breath to become calmer, deeper, gentler. Nothing needs to be done. Nothing needs to be changed. The room is already perfect in its warmth and stillness. The soft glow simply asks for presence, for awareness that doesn't strain or reach for anything. Here, in this quiet kitchen, the edges of the room blur in the dimness. The warm light stays close, holding the space in a calm embrace. Everything feels softer, quieter, and easier. Even the mind grows gently fuzzy at the edges, drifting toward a dreamlike calm. The oven's glow flickers once more, then settles into a smooth, steady warmth. All the lights in the room work together, blending into one unified softness that fills every corner and quiets every lingering thought. And as the warm evening light settles deeper into the kitchen, the whole space becomes a gentle cocoon of calm, letting everything inside it soften, drift, and rest in quiet stillness. The quiet warmth of the kitchen lingers in the air. Soft light rests on the counters, and the gentle hush of the room feels steady and inviting. Everything around you seems to slow into an easy rhythm, a calm pulse that moves through the space like a soft breath. In this stillness, the idea of gathering a few simple ingredients feels comforting. There is no rush, no need to hurry or think too far ahead. Just a slow, peaceful moment in a quiet kitchen where each small action becomes part of a soothing nighttime ritual. A hand reaches toward a cupboard, and the hinges give a faint, familiar sound as the door opens. The noise is soft and warm, like something well used and trusted. Inside, simple ingredients wait in their places, each one holding its own gentle presence in the dim light. A bag of flour rests on the shelf, its paper crinkling quietly as it's lifted. The sound is light and soothing, a soft rustle that blends into the warm air. When the bag is set on the counter, it settles with a muted sigh, sending a tiny puff of flour into the golden glow. Nearby, a jar of sugar catches the light. The glass feels cool and smooth, its weight steady in the hands. When the lid lifts with a gentle clink, the sound is delicate, almost musical, adding a calm note to the quiet kitchen. The ingredients gather slowly, one by one. A small dish of butter, soft from the warmth of the room, rests beside the flour and sugar. Its creamy surface reflects a faint shimmer from the nearby lamp. Everything on the counter looks peaceful, as if it's settling into the calm just as you are. The simple act of arranging these items brings a grounded feeling. Flour, sugar, butter, each familiar, each gentle, each easy to hold. The rhythm of picking them up, placing them down, listening to the quiet sounds they make. It all feels like moving through a soft, comforting memory. An empty mixing bowl waits nearby. The curve of the bowl glows under the warm light, smooth and inviting. When it's shifted slightly on the counter, it makes a soft, rounded sound, like a quiet hello. The wooden spoon beside it rests lightly, its surface worn and warm. Reaching once more into the cupboard, a small container of salt is gathered. The tiny grains inside shift with the slightest movement, creating a faint, whispery sound. It's gentle enough to melt into the background, adding another subtle layer to the kitchen's calm nighttime melody. The measuring scoops rest in their drawer, nestled together. As they're lifted, they make a quiet, comforting clink. The metal feels cool at first, then warms quickly in the hand. Each scoop is light, simple, and familiar. Tools that have been used many times before. Tools that belong to slow, peaceful evenings like this one. Moving through the kitchen feels steady and deliberate. Every action unfolds with ease. The soft light, the tiny sounds, the warmth in the air. All of it creates a rhythm that the body naturally falls into. A gentle flow where nothing is rushed and nothing needs to be perfect. Scooping the flour brings another soft rustle. The grains shift like a quiet cloud inside the bag, lifting lightly into the scoop. The movement is slow, unhurried, almost tender. When the scoop slides over the bowl, the flour falls with a soft whisper, landing in a small, fluffy mound. Sugar pours with a faint, grainy sound, almost like a tiny waterfall in the quiet of the room. The crystals catch the light as they fall, making the motion feel warm and comforting. When the spoon taps lightly against the edge of the bowl, the sound is gentle, steady, and deeply soothing. Butter meets the mixture with a muted softness. Its smooth edges press gently into the flour and sugar, bringing a sense of ease to the moment. Even the slight press of the spoon against the butter adds to the slow, rhythmic comfort in the room. Every ingredient on the counter feels like a small part of the night's quiet ritual. Flour settling softly, sugar glimmering faintly, butter resting in a warm pool of light. The kitchen becomes a space where the mind can loosen and drift, held by the familiar shapes and sounds. The soft warmth from the oven reaches the counter, brushing gently against the ingredients. It's a subtle heat, steady and comforting, like a quiet hand resting on your shoulder. It deepens the calm in the room, inviting the body to settle even more into the moment. A slow breath moves through the space. The scent of flour in the warm air is faint but grounding. Every small sound, the rustle of a bag, the clink of a jar, the whisper of a scoop, blends into a gentle, steady rhythm. Each sound feels like part of the kitchen's quiet heartbeat. In this moment, everything feels simple and safe. Just flour on the counter, just sugar waiting patiently in a jar, just butter softening in the warm glow of the oven. These small details create a sense of peace, a reminder that comfort can live in the simplest things. The ingredients rest together, ready and calm. Nothing urgent, nothing demanding, just soft shapes in warm light held in the stillness of the night. Their quiet presence fills the room with a steady comfort that settles deeper with each breath. As the kitchen grows even quieter, the warmth and the gentle sounds come together in a slow, soothing rhythm. The gathering is complete. The space around the ingredients feels peaceful and full, like a soft sigh drifting into the air. And the night continues to unfold gently, carrying all these small comforts into the warm, steady calm of the cozy kitchen, where everything settles into quiet ease. The warm glow of the kitchen settles softly around the counter. The bowl waits in the gentle light, solid and still, its smooth curve catching a faint shimmer from the lamp overhead. The air feels warm and steady, ready for slow, easy movements. The ingredients rest quietly inside the bowl. Flour, sugar, and butter sit together in soft shapes, calm and unhurried. Their colors blend in the dim light, forming a gentle, pale mixture that promises something warm and comforting. Nothing rushes, nothing presses forward. Everything seems to settle into the quiet rhythm of the night. A hand reaches for the wooden spoon. Its surface is warm from the room, smooth from years of use, steady in its familiar weight. Lifting it brings a small shift in the air, a subtle cue that something soothing is about to begin. The spoon touches the ingredients with a light, easy pressure. The first movement is slow, almost tentative, sinking gently into the mixture. The texture beneath it is soft, airy, and cool. The bowl cradles the movement, its weight grounding every small motion. A slow circle begins. The spoon moves carefully around the edge of the bowl, carving a calm path through flour and sugar. The sound is quiet and comforting. A soft brushing, a gentle whisper of ingredients meeting the wooden spoon. Each rotation follows the last, repeating in a pace that naturally slows the breath. The mixture shifts as it moves. Dry ingredients roll over themselves like powdery clouds, drifting in small, gentle waves. Butter softens as the warmth of the room sinks into it, creating little pockets of smoothness that blend into the mixture with each turn of the spoon. Another slow circle, and another. The rhythm becomes steady and predictable, like tracing the rim of a calm pond with the tip of a finger. Each motion smooths the mind a little more, softening any lingering tension. The spoon glides with a quiet assurance, never rushing, never pushing. Tiny clumps form and break apart. The spoon lifts them, presses them softly, folds them into the rest of the mixture. The texture begins to change in small, gradual ways. What was once powdery becomes slightly thicker, more connected. The transformation is subtle and calming, something that unfolds only through patience and gentle attention. The circles grow a little wider. The spoon moves with confidence now, knowing the path well. The bowl remains steady on the counter, its weight anchoring the movement. The sound of stirring deepens slightly, shifting from a light rustle to a soft, smooth drag as the ingredients begin to come together. Warm air from the oven drifts across the counter. It brushes against the bowl, adding another layer of comfort to the moment. The warmth blends with the slow stirring, making the whole experience feel almost like a quiet lullaby carried through the hands. The mixture thickens gently. It clings to the spoon in soft ribbons before slipping back into the bowl. Each fall is slow and delicate, creating a small mound that melts into the rest with the next circular motion. Watching it, or simply imagining it, brings a sense of grounded ease. The steady rhythm continues, slow circles, soft motions, the kind of repetitive, comforting movement that quiets the mind without effort. Each turn feels familiar, like a ritual that has been done many times before, always bringing the same soothing calm. The spoon presses softly along the sides of the bowl. Its rounded edge glides against the surface with a quiet scrape, smoothing everything together in long, gentle strokes. The sound is steady and mild, adding to the feeling of being settled and safe in this warm kitchen. The mixture becomes smoother. Its texture shifts into something soft and slightly glossy, holding the warmth of the oven's glow. The transformation happens slowly, almost imperceptibly, but the feeling it brings is clear, a sense of arriving somewhere calm and steady. Breathing naturally matches the rhythm. A slow inhale as the spoon moves along one side. A calm exhale as it completes the circle. The body begins to follow along, relaxing into the pattern, letting each motion loosen the muscles and soften the thoughts. The spoon lifts once more, then dips back into the mixture. It moves without hesitation, guided by the slow and steady pulse of the room. The bowl, warm and heavy, supports every movement, adding a sense of grounding with each soft scrape. The stirring continues at a tranquil pace, not faster, not slower, just even and smooth, always predictable, always kind. The repetition becomes meditative, a gentle anchor for the mind, holding attention in a warm, peaceful place. As the mixture comes together fully, the motions grow smaller. The spoon traces tighter circles now, smoothing the last little pockets of flour and butter into a unified whole. The texture is soft and cohesive, warm to the touch, ready for whatever comes next, though nothing needs to happen quickly. The final few circles feel like the quiet settling of the night. Each motion eases a little more tension. Each turn softens the space around it. The bowl grows still beneath the spoon, heavy and comforting, like a steady presence in the warm glow of the kitchen. The spoon comes to rest along the edge of the bowl. The mixture is calm, settled, complete in its own gentle way. The air around the counter feels softer now, filled with warmth and the quiet memory of slow, soothing motion. And as the bowl sits peacefully in the warm kitchen light, the slow rhythm of stirring lingers in the body and mind, carrying a sense of deep, steady calm into the quiet of the night. The warm quiet of the kitchen settles a little deeper. The bowl rests on the counter, holding a soft mixture that has begun to come together. The gentle glow from the oven touches its surface, giving the dough a faint, comforting warmth. Everything around it feels calm, steady, and familiar. A light sprinkle of flour drifts through the air. It falls in a slow, delicate cloud, settling over the countertop like a soft dusting of snow. The motion is almost weightless, floating for a moment before landing in a thin, pale layer. The room grows even quieter as the flour settles, as if the kitchen is holding its breath in anticipation. Hands move toward the bowl, slow and steady. Fingers sink into the mixture with a soft pressure, meeting a cool, smooth texture that gives way gently. The dough responds with a quiet resistance, just enough to remind you of its softness. The first lift carries a hint of warmth from the bowl, a warmth that grows with each moment it's held. The dough stretches gently. It lengthens in slow motions, pulling into a smooth, elastic ribbon before easing back into the bowl. Each stretch brings a subtle shift in scent, a warm, comforting aroma that rises softly through the air. The scent is mild at first, barely noticeable, like the memory of something freshly made long ago. With each fold, the fragrance deepens. It carries a gentle sweetness from the sugar, a soft richness from the butter, and a hint of warmth from the flour beginning to change under the touch of the hands. The aroma is not strong or sharp. It is warm, subtle, familiar. It feels like a scent that belongs to quiet evenings and cozy kitchens, something remembered more than sensed. The dough is lifted again. This time it holds together more smoothly, stretching in an easy, unbroken line. It falls back onto the counter with a soft, muted sound. The bowl resonates quietly, a calm echo that blends with the warmth of the room. The texture grows more pliable, more alive beneath the soft pressure of each motion. Flour dusts the surface once more. A tiny puff rises as hands press the dough lightly into it. The powder clings to fingers and palms, leaving a faint trace of white along the edges. The feel of it is gentle, silky, grounding. The kitchen begins to smell even more comforting, as if the scent has settled into the air and wrapped itself around the room. The dough is kneaded in slow, rhythmic motions. Press forward, fold back, turn. Each movement glides into the next with a smooth predictability. The repetition carries a soothing, meditative calm, like a simple melody played over and over until it becomes part of the background of the night. The scent rises every time the dough is pressed. Warmth spreads through the mixture, awakening the soft sweetness inside it. The air grows richer, though never heavy. It's the kind of scent that feels like home, the kind that lingers in memory long after the moment has passed, gentle and reassuring. The dough presses against warm hands. It yields slowly and then bounces back with a soft resilience. The texture changes from slightly grainy to smooth and elastic, holding a promise of what's to come. The surface glows faintly under the light, and the warmth from the room continues to seep into it, making it softer with each pass. Another quiet fold, another slow turn. The rhythm deepens, carrying with it an easy sense of focus that asks for nothing and offers comfort without effort. It feels like being tucked into a familiar routine, one that brings calm simply by existing. The scent grows fuller now. It rises like a warm sigh from the dough, spreading out in gentle waves that drift through the kitchen. The aroma settles into corners, mixes with the soft heat from the oven, and creates a pocket of warmth that feels steady and safe. Every breath carries the softness of it. Hands press once more into the dough. It's warm now, warmed both by touch and by the slow rise of the room's gentle heat. The dough relaxes under each movement, settling into its shape, ready to rest. It holds a quiet promise. Something soft, something comforting, something meant to be enjoyed slowly. The last fold brings the dough together in a smooth, rounded shape. Its surface is lightly dusted with flour, giving it a soft, velvety feel. Resting there on the counter, it looks peaceful, like it has found its place in the rhythm of the kitchen. The aroma continues to drift upward, warm and nostalgic. The bowl is set nearby, ready to hold the dough. Its inside is lightly floured, waiting with a quiet patience. When the dough is placed inside, it settles with a gentle weight, fitting perfectly into the curve of the bowl. The sound it makes is small, almost like a soft exhale. A cloth is laid over the top. The fabric is warm from the air, light and slightly textured. As it falls over the bowl, it creates a cocoon of quiet, keeping the heat close and letting the dough rest. The scent of the dough slips out from beneath the cloth, subtle and inviting. The kitchen feels even cozier now. The scent of fresh dough mingles with the warm glow from the oven, spreading a feeling of comfort through the space. It is a scent that brings memories with it. Gentle evenings, soft light, hands moving slowly in familiar patterns. It anchors the heart in a place of ease. Everything grows still again. The dough rests. The bowl holds it gently. The air is full of warmth and the quiet promise of something rising, slowly and patiently in its own time. The scent continues to drift softly through the kitchen, settling into the quiet warmth of the night, inviting the body and mind to settle just as gently, just as slowly into a deep and peaceful calm. The kitchen rests in a gentle hush. Warm light settles over the counter where the dough has been waiting, soft under the cloth, calm and ready. The air feels steady, wrapped in a comforting stillness that makes every small movement feel unhurried and peaceful. The cloth lifts with a slow, easy motion. A faint warmth rises from the dough, carrying a soft hint of sweetness. Its surface is smooth and rounded, shaped by patient hands and quiet moments. The dough looks peaceful, as if it has been resting deeply in the warm glow of the room. A hand slips beneath it, lifting with care. The weight is gentle, warm but not hot, soft but not fragile. It's the kind of warmth that feels grounding, the kind that spreads slowly through the palms and settles into the rhythm of the breath. The dough rests easily in the hands, as if it belongs there, held for just a moment before the next step. The oven waits nearby, its faint amber light glowing through the small window. The gentle hum inside is steady and reassuring, like a soft heartbeat in the quiet. The warmth around the oven brushes lightly against the skin, inviting, familiar, comforting. The oven door opens with a soft click. Not a sharp sound, just a small rounded note that breaks the stillness without disturbing it. A wave of warm air flows out, gentle and calm, wrapping around the hands and drifting up toward the face. The warmth carries a whisper of heat that feels safe, steady, and soothing. The dough is set inside with slow, careful movement. The pan meets the rack with a muted, quiet sound, a soft settling that fits perfectly into the calm around it. The glow inside the oven touches the dough, bathing it in warm light that seems to deepen the sense of ease in the room. The oven door closes gently. The latch catches with a soft, familiar click that echoes lightly through the warm air. That small sound marks a shift in the moment. Not an ending, not a beginning, just a peaceful change from movement into stillness. Warmth rises slowly from the oven. It spreads into the kitchen in a gentle wave, filling the air with a comforting heat that settles around the body. Nothing is rushed. Nothing pushes forward. The warmth simply expands, carrying a calm reassurance with it. The faint glow behind the oven door flickers softly. It creates small, subtle movements of light that dance along the floor and the nearby cupboards. These tiny flickers add a quiet liveliness to the room, a warm companion to the steady stillness that surrounds everything else. The air shifts slightly as the dough begins its slow transformation. No sudden sounds, No sharp sense, just a gradual, steady warmth that fills the space. It feels like a quiet pause in the middle of the night, where everything is suspended in a soft, unhurried balance. A deep sense of contentment settles into the room. This is not a moment of action, but a moment of waiting, resting, breathing. The body naturally mirrors the stillness around it, easing into a slower rhythm. Shoulders drop a little. Breath falls into a gentle, even pattern. The warmth from the oven seems to encourage every part of the body to settle. The kitchen feels calm and open. The warm air moves softly across the counters, brushing the fingers, touching the cheeks, curling around the edges of the room. It is a quiet warmth, not heavy or overwhelming, but soft and soothing, like a blanket draped loosely over the space. Time takes on a different texture here. It stretches out, smooth and unbroken, like a single quiet breath held in the room. There is nothing to rush toward, nothing waiting to be done. This moment stands on its own, perfect in its simplicity. A faint scent begins to rise. Something light at first, almost hidden in the warm air. It holds the promise of comfort, of something wholesome and familiar. The scent grows slowly, drifting through the room with a soft sweetness that feels gentle on the senses. The glow inside the oven deepens for a moment, then softens again. This small play of light adds to the feeling of warmth, as if the oven itself is breathing slowly. The tiny shifts in brightness are calming, soothing, like watching a candle flicker in a quiet room. The warmth from the oven wraps around the body again. It moves from the hands up the arms, circles the shoulders, and settles gently in the chest. The heat invites relaxation, loosening any tightness, letting every muscle soften. Even the air feels supportive, like it's holding everything in a gentle cradle. The room grows quieter still. Even the faint hum of the oven seems softer now, blending into the stillness. The kitchen feels full and peaceful, as if every object is resting, waiting with quiet patience as the dough rises in its warm cocoon. Breathing comes easily. The warmth encourages long, slow inhales and smooth, gentle exhales. Each breath seems to melt a little more tension, leaving behind only calm, steady quiet. The body feels heavier and lighter at the same time, held by the warmth around it. This peaceful baking moment stretches out in soft, quiet time. Nothing pulls at the mind. Nothing demands attention. Everything is held in this warm, glowing pause, where the only movement is the slow rise of the dough and the steady comfort filling the room. The warm air settles once more. The glow behind the oven door softens again. The kitchen feels like it has returned to its natural rhythm, slow and still, wrapped in a gentle calm that drifts through the room. And as the dough begins to rise gently in the warmth, the whole space settles into a deeper quiet, inviting the body and mind to rest with the same soft, steady ease. Warm stillness gathers in the kitchen. The soft glow from the oven settles into the room, coloring the air with a gentle amber haze. The warmth feels deep and steady, a quiet presence that fills the space in calm waves. Then the first hint of aroma drifts out. It's faint, light as a whisper, riding the warm air in delicate curls. A soft sweetness, barely there at first, like the memory of something warm and comforting. It lingers for a moment, floats forward, and settles softly into the room. Another wave follows. This one carries a touch of vanilla, warm and smooth. It drifts through the air in slow, lazy spirals, rising and falling with the heat from the oven. The scent has a gentle glow of its own, a subtle brightness that wraps around the quiet of the kitchen. The air grows richer. A soft butteriness begins to weave into the sweetness, warm and mellow. It moves like a small cloud drifting through sunlight, light, airy, and deeply comforting. The scent folds itself into the corners of the room, settling like a soft blanket drawn close. A hint of golden crust begins to appear. It's warm and toasty, grounding the lighter notes with something deeper and more familiar. The aroma blends easily with the sweetness already in the air, creating a soft harmony that feels like a gentle embrace. The warmth from the oven carries the scent outward. It rises in soft waves, drifting along the counters and across the floor. The air feels almost velvety, thick with comfort, but never heavy, always moving slowly and smoothly around the room. Each breath gathers a little more warmth, a little more sweetness. The scent continues to build. Not quickly, not suddenly, just a gentle deepening, like watching soft clouds roll in across a quiet sky. The aromas meet and mingle, blending into something familiar and nostalgic. It brings a feeling of being wrapped in warmth, a feeling that settles deeply and easily into the body. The vanilla softens into the background. Its sweetness lingers there, giving the air a tender glow. The buttery aroma deepens slightly, warm and smooth, drifting lazily into every corner. The crust scent grows richer as the dough rises and changes, adding a peaceful earthiness to the room. In this moment, the kitchen feels like a warm cocoon. The air is full, but never overwhelming. Every breath feels slower, smoother, wrapped in the drifting scents that float gently around the room. The warmth encourages the body to loosen, to sink a little deeper into stillness. The scents move in soft waves. One moment, a light sweetness drifts toward you. The next, a warm, buttery note settles closer. Then, a faint, toasty richness rises from the oven again. Each wave blends into the next without any sharpness, creating a slow, soothing rhythm that mirrors the gentle rise of the dough inside the oven. The aroma becomes almost dreamlike. It hovers in the warm air, as soft as a quiet thought. The sweetness feels like comfort from long ago. The butteriness feels like safe warmth. The golden crust smell feels like the heart of a cozy kitchen, settled and glowing in the night. The kitchen light seems to soften even more. Warm colors blend along the countertops, and the shadows drift into gentle shapes. The room feels calm, suspended in a peaceful stillness that has no rush, no edge, no urgency. Only drifting warmth and floating scent. The air around the oven moves slowly. You might imagine watching the warm currents rise, carrying the glowing scent higher, letting it spread like a small, quiet cloud across the room. The motion is soft and airy, moving with a natural, dreamy drift. Breathing in feels like stepping deeper into calm. The scents wrap around the inhale with gentle warmth. The exhale carries away any tension, leaving only softness behind. The rhythm of the breath becomes as light and floating as the aroma filling the space. Each new waft feels like a gentle reminder to slow down. The warm air settles on the skin. The scent settles in the senses. And the mind slips a little further into a dreamy calm, held by the familiar comfort drifting through the room. The mixture of aromas feels complete now, not strong or intense, but full and rounded. Sweetness, warmth, soft toasted notes. They blend into one hushed harmony that fills the kitchen with an easy, restful glow. Time seems to loosen. Moments stretch lightly, floating like the scent itself. Nothing pulls at the attention. Nothing asks for effort. The room has become a gentle cradle of warmth and drifting softness. The warm aromas continue their slow dance. One wave rises, then falls, then rises again, each movement blending seamlessly into the next. It is all steady and smooth, as if the air has chosen to breathe for the room, guiding everything into deeper ease. The glow from the oven flickers softly. It shines through the small window, golden and calm, blending with the warm scent in the air. That gentle flicker adds a dreamy layer to the moment, a soft shimmer that deepens the coziness around you. The kitchen now feels wrapped in warmth. It feels slow, floating, weightless in its quiet comfort. The aromas drift around like soft clouds, settling into the mind with a calming, familiar ease. And as the warm, sweet scent continues to fill the air, the entire room seems to drift into a mellow, quiet stillness, inviting every part of the body and mind to settle, soften, and rest in the glow of this peaceful night. The kitchen has grown even quieter. The warm glow from the oven settles softly across the room, creating a gentle island of light in the dim evening. The air feels warm and still, settled into a calm that invites the whole body to slow down. A chair waits nearby, close enough to feel the heat rising from the oven door. Sitting there feels natural, almost necessary, as though the night itself is encouraging a moment of rest. The warmth reaches the hands first, then drifts upward, brushing the cheeks with a soft, steady comfort. A mug rests between the palms. It's warm, not too hot, just the right temperature to cradle easily. The smooth ceramic feels grounding, familiar, and safe. The steam rising from it moves in a thin, whispery trail, fading into the warm air long before it reaches the ceiling. The scent of whatever fills the mug, herbal tea, warm milk, or something lightly sweet, blends gently with the drifting aroma from the oven. Together, they create a soft cloud of comfort, a quiet merging of warmth and scent that feels like a blanket wrapped loosely around the senses. Sitting here, time stretches out. The body sinks deeper into the chair. Breaths grow slower and longer. Nothing needs to happen quickly. Every movement can be unhurried, every thought allowed to drift like the warm air moving through the room. Tiny settling sounds ripple through the kitchen, a faint tap from the heating element inside the oven, a soft creak from a wooden cabinet adjusting to the rising warmth, the quiet clink of the mug when it's set down for a moment. Each sound appears gently, like a pebble dropped into a still pond, spreading calm instead of disturbance. The warmth from the mug seeps into the fingers. It travels up the wrists, through the palms, and into the arms, easing away tension in slow, comforting waves. The heat feels steady and soothing, matching the soft glow that fills the room. The oven hums quietly in the background. The faint, steady vibration creates a peaceful rhythm that blends into the silence. It's not loud or distracting, just a gentle presence, like the low murmur of a quiet night outside. The aroma of baking dough grows more noticeable. It doesn't rush forward. It drifts, rising slowly with the warm air. Hints of sweetness, warmth, and golden crust swirl together. The scent moves through the room like a soft breeze, light and calming. Sitting close to the oven, the body feels suspended in a warm cocoon. The heat creates a small world of comfort, contained yet spacious, filled with a soft glow that wraps around everything. Awareness becomes quieter here, softer, less defined. A gentle sip from the mug adds another layer of warmth. The liquid moves through the body slowly, like a soft line of heat that settles deep in the chest. The warmth spreads outward, relaxing the shoulders, easing the back, loosening the muscles in the neck. Eyes may drift naturally toward the oven door. The light inside flickers gently, a soft shimmer behind the glass. Watching it feels calming, almost hypnotic, like gazing at a low flame or the glowing embers of a fire. The light dances slowly, encouraging thoughts to drift as softly as the glow itself. The chair feels steady and supportive. It holds the body with quiet firmness, allowing everything to relax without effort. The fabric or wood beneath feels warm from the air, adding to the sense of being held gently in place. Breath deepens on its own. Each inhale gathers warmth and scent. Each exhale carries away a little more tension. The rhythm is slow and natural, blending seamlessly with the quiet around it, creating a gentle tide of breath and warmth. The kitchen settles around the moment. Walls hold the glow. The floor absorbs the warmth. The room seems to lean in slightly, offering its stillness as a place to rest. Even the shadows feel soft, relaxed, without edge. Thoughts drift softly, losing their sharpness. They float like tiny specks of dust in warm sunlight, meandering without urgency. Nothing pulls at the mind. Nothing asks for attention. Everything is slow, gentle, and deeply restful. Another soft sound comes from the oven. A faint crackle, a tiny shift, a whisper of rising warmth. The sound blends into the atmosphere, becoming part of the overall quiet rather than breaking it. It's the kind of sound that makes the moment feel alive yet deeply peaceful. Hands wrap around the warm mug again. The heat is soothing, spreading through the fingers and palms in soft pulses. Holding it brings a sense of calm presence, grounding the body in the warm circle of light created by the oven and lamp. The dough inside the oven continues its slow transformation. No need to watch it. No need to anticipate. Just the knowledge that something warm and comforting is quietly rising adds to the peaceful atmosphere of the room. Stillness deepens. The warmth grows softer, gentler, folding around the body like a quiet embrace. The senses grow hazy, cushioned by scent, heat, and the gentle glow that fills the kitchen. Nothing moves quickly now. Even the air drifts slowly, carrying warmth in lazy waves. The mind follows its pace, drifting from thought to thought with no need to hold on to anything. The chair, the mug, the glow from the oven, the warm scents lingering in the air, all of it blends together into one quiet moment of deep rest. And as the warmth continues to rise in subtle waves, the whole room settles into a peaceful calm, inviting the body and mind to sink deeper into the soft, steady stillness of this gentle night. The warmth in the kitchen has grown soft and full. A gentle glow still shines from behind the oven door, steady and calm, filling the room with a quiet, golden hush. The air is warm around the edges, like a soft blanket draped loosely over every surface. The baked treat inside has finished its slow rise. You can sense it in the faint shift of scent. Richer now, deeper, carrying a quiet sweetness that blends with the warmth of the night. The aroma settles around you in soft waves, gentle and familiar, inviting a peaceful curiosity. A hand reaches toward the oven door. The movement is slow, as if the night itself encourages unhurried motions. Fingers curl around the handle, warm from the heat radiating outward. For a moment, there is only stillness, the soft hum of the oven resting in the quiet air. The door opens with a round, gentle click. A wave of warm air escapes, drifting upward in a slow, soothing rush. The warmth brushes the skin, spreading across the face and hands with a comforting ease. It is the kind of warmth that fills the chest, encouraging the breath to deepen and soften. Inside, the golden treat glows softly in the warm light. The surface has taken on a gentle, toasted color. Nothing harsh or bright, just a warm, buttery gold. Its edges are smooth and slightly curved, resting peacefully in the center of the oven. The sight carries a quiet sense of completion, the kind that asks for nothing more than a slow, steady breath. The pan is carefully lifted, hands steady in the warm air. The heat beneath is strong but comforting, grounding the moment. The weight of the pan feels secure, balanced, and sure. As it moves away from the oven, the glow follows for a moment, then fades back into the room. The door closes behind with another soft click. The sound settles into the silence like a gentle punctuation mark, a peaceful note that brings the warmth of the moment into focus. The kitchen remains calm, wrapped in the gentle scent still drifting through the air. The pan is set down on the counter. A faint sizzle whispers beneath it as the warmth meets the cooler surface. It is a tiny, soothing sound, one that blends perfectly with the quiet of the room. The baked treat continues to release soft waves of heat, carrying its sweet aroma outward in warm, steady breaths. The golden surface rises slightly in the center, a gentle dome, smooth and rounded, with tiny cracks where the softest puff of steam escapes. The crust glows under the kitchen light, warm and reassuring. It looks peaceful, as if it has settled into its perfect form without effort. A hand rests near the warm surface. The heat radiates upward, gentle and steady, inviting a moment of pause. The scent deepens here, warm butter, soft vanilla, and a quiet hint of sweetness that hovers just above the crust. Each inhale carries a sense of ease, each exhale a release of anything lingering from the day. The edges of the treat soften in the warm air. The slightest shift in light makes the golden color glow even more warmly. Everything about it feels calm and complete, as if every slow step taken earlier has led gently to this moment. A small breath of steam rises as the surface cools. It spirals upward in a thin, drifting ribbon, dissolving into the quiet air. The motion is slow, barely noticeable, but full of warmth and comfort. It seems to mirror the soft drifting of thoughts in a restful mind. The kitchen holds the warmth close. Shadows soften along the cupboards. The counters reflect a faint glow. Even the air feels thicker with calm, filled with the gentle presence of something freshly baked and deeply comforting. Hands move slowly toward the pan again, not to touch, but simply to feel the warmth hovering above it. The air is sweet here, rich with the soft scent rising from the crust. It feels like standing next to a small glowing hearth, where heat and comfort meet in quiet harmony. The baked treat continues to rest, settling into its final shape. The crust grows firmer, the center softens slightly, and the aroma weaves itself through the room in a steady, warm drift. Everything feels balanced. Nothing too strong, nothing too subtle. Just a gentle harmony of scent, warmth, and golden quiet. The moment carries a peaceful fullness. Not excitement, not anticipation. Just a slow, contented ease, like the body releasing a long, quiet breath. The warmth fills the space, inviting stillness and softening any remaining edges of the day. The air cools slightly around the pan. The scent remains warm and constant, drifting lazily through the kitchen. It curls around the chair, around the counters, over the floor, holding the room in a soft, comforting glow. Nothing needs to happen next. The treat rests. The kitchen breathes. Warm air settles. Everything feels gentle and complete, held in the quiet glow of this peaceful night. And as the baked treat sits fresh from the oven, radiating warmth and soft sweetness, the whole room settles deeper into calm, inviting the mind to drift and the body to rest in this gentle, golden stillness. The warm scent of the baked treat lingers in the quiet kitchen. Soft, golden light rests on the counter where it cools, filling the room with a gentle, comforting glow. The air feels slow and calm, as if it's settling into a peaceful sigh. Steam rises in faint, delicate ribbons from the warm surface. The softness of it invites a deeper breath, an easy inhale that carries sweetness and warmth straight into the chest. The moment feels unhurried, full of a quiet promise of comfort. A small piece is cut from the warm center. The knife glides through with barely a sound, meeting almost no resistance. The inside is tender and soft, still warm from the oven, releasing another gentle wave of aroma that drifts through the air. The piece rests lightly in the hand. Warmth spreads into the fingertips first, then travels up the palm and through the wrist, settling in a gentle glow along the arm. It's a warmth that feels alive, comforting, and deeply familiar. The first bite is slow. Soft texture meets the tongue with a tender, warm sweetness. The crumb melts gently, almost dissolving before it's fully tasted. The flavor is simple and soothing. Nothing bold, nothing sharp, just a quiet, comforting taste that feels like it belongs to a calm night like this. Warmth spreads through the mouth and down the throat. It travels into the chest like a soft, glowing ribbon, easing muscles, loosening any small pockets of tension. The warmth continues downward, settling comfortably in the belly, creating a deep sense of ease. The sweetness is mild, lingering lightly. It doesn't call attention to itself. It simply rests on the tongue for a moment, then drifts away, leaving a soft echo of flavor that feels timeless and gentle. Another small bite follows. It's even softer this time, as if the warmth has deepened the tenderness of the treat. The texture is smooth and yielding, offering no effort at all. Each moment of tasting feels like a slow exhale, like sinking into a warm blanket. Heat moves through the body in slow waves. It starts in the chest and spreads outward, warming the ribs, then the shoulders, and even the back. The glow feels steady and soothing, helping the body soften into a deeper state of rest. The air around the bite seems sweeter now. Each inhale brings a gentle mix of vanilla, warmth, and the faint crispness of the crust. The scent isn't strong. It floats in the background like a quiet lullaby that never interrupts, only reassures. The treat cools slightly as you take your time. The warmth remains, steady and comforting, waiting patiently for each slow, easy bite. Every moment is unhurried, designed to be savored with no rush at all. The gentle sweetness feels like a familiar memory. something safe, something warm, something that carries a quiet sense of home, even if it's been years since a night like this. The feeling settles into the chest, leaving a soft fullness, a sense of quiet contentment. Another small bite disappears with almost no sound. The crumb melts instantly, washing the senses with warmth and softness. The experience feels less like eating and more like drifting, like being carried gently through a comforting moment. The kitchen holds its stillness. The light stays warm. The air remains sweet and slow. Every part of the space seems to encourage deeper relaxation, inviting the body to follow the gentle rhythm of warmth and quiet. A final small bite brings the moment together. It's soft and warm, disappearing with ease, leaving behind only calm sweetness on the tongue. The warmth spreads again, this time slower, deeper, settling through the body like a long, quiet sigh. The piece is finished, but the comfort lingers. The warmth inside continues to glow softly, easing the breath, loosening the muscles, calming the mind. The sweetness remains faintly in the air, drifting gently through the quiet kitchen. The body feels heavier now, in a pleasant way, as if gravity has become softer, more welcoming, inviting everything to settle, drift, and rest. The warmth from the treat seems to wrap around the inside of the body, smoothing out the edges of the day. The kitchen grows quieter still. Only the softest sounds remain. The tiny settling of the baked treat cooling on the counter, the warm hum of the oven easing into silence. Each sound blends into a quiet harmony that deepens the sense of calm. Another slow breath moves through the space. It carries the last traces of sweetness, warmth, and quiet satisfaction. The breath deepens naturally, as if guided by the soft glow of the moment. The warmth in the chest remains steady, a gentle reminder of the simple treat and the slow, peaceful moment shared with it. It feels complete, enough, perfect in its simplicity. And as the sweetness fades into the warm air of the kitchen, the whole body settles into a deeper calm, drifting softly into the quiet comfort of this late-night moment. The warmth in the kitchen begins to settle. The golden glow from the oven softens into a dimmer hue, its light no longer reaching as far across the floor. The air feels slow and velvety, carrying the last traces of sweetness and heat. Shadows lengthen gently along the counters. They stretch in calm, rounded shapes, moving with the quiet dimming of the room. Nothing sharp or sudden, just a slow blending of light and darkness, like evening easing toward night. The oven cools in soft breaths. Each wave of warmth grows a little lighter, drifting upward before fading into the still air. The faint hum inside grows quieter, until it's only a soft memory in the background. The room responds, settling into a deeper, more restful calm. The baked treat rests on the counter. Its warmth drifts away in tiny, quiet puffs. The golden surface has deepened slightly in color, glowing faintly in the gentle light that remains. It sits peacefully, as if the night itself is holding it in place. A chair waits nearby, steady and warm. Sitting again feels natural, the body sinking into the seat with a slow release. Muscles soften, shoulders loosen. The breath deepens without effort. The whole room seems to exhale with you, falling into a shared stillness. The air cools a little more around the edges, not cold, just gentler, lighter, as if the warmth has curled deeper into the center of the room. The coolness touches the skin softly, like the brushed edge of a quiet breeze. Sounds grow faint. A small settling creak from the oven frame. A gentle shift in the wooden floor. The soft, padded thump of fabric adjusting on the chair. Each sound appears and then dissolves almost instantly into the calm that fills the space. The kitchen light dims another shade. The glow becomes softer, rounder, more like the memory of light than light itself. Shadows blend together, smooth and unbroken. The room feels wrapped in a gentle twilight, suspended between waking and sleep. Breathing slows in the warm quiet. The inhale feels warm and full, touched by the lingering sweetness in the air. The exhale feels long and loose, releasing the last bits of tension from the day. Every breath deepens the heaviness in the body, the pleasant kind that draws you toward rest. The home around the kitchen grows still. Distant rooms melt into soft darkness. Even the hallways seem to quiet themselves, as if respecting the calm held here. The whole space feels settled, peaceful, ready for night. A faint glow remains on the counter. The baked treat sits in the center of it, holding the warmth like a small ember. It's enough to make the room feel alive, but only gently, only quietly, only in the way a warm memory lingers in the mind long after the moment has passed. Hands rest in the lap, warm and still. The body feels heavy in the chair, grounded and safe. The warmth from before seems to move inward, settling deep in the chest and belly, creating a quiet center of comfort. Thoughts drift easily. They lose their edges, soften their shapes, become slower, quieter, lighter. The mind feels cushioned, like it's floating just above sleep, not quite dreaming yet, but not fully awake either. The kitchen breathes in silence. Light dwindles, warmth fades gently, shadows deepen. Everything moves at the pace of rest. The air carries the last hints of sweet aroma. It drifts through the room like a soft cloud, barely noticeable unless you pause to feel it. It brings with it the comfort of simple ingredients, warm hands, patient moments, all blending into the night. The oven sighs lightly as it cools. The sound is soft, almost soothing, like the final exhale of something settling into sleep. The warmth that once filled the room now rests close to the floor, hugging the space in a gentle embrace. The counters fade into deeper shadow. The edges blur. The shapes soften. Nothing stands out. Nothing demands attention. The room becomes a single, quiet whole, holding you inside its slow stillness. The chair supports the body with steady, calm weight. The heaviness in the limbs grows softer, easier, pleasantly warm. The head might feel a little lighter, the eyelids heavier, each blink lasting a little longer than the last. The kitchen light dims once more. It becomes a soft glow, just enough to see the warm silhouette of the room. Even that glow feels like it could drift away at any moment, dissolving into the gentle quiet that surrounds it. The home is at peace. The night has settled. The warmth has softened into memory. Everything around you feels safe, quiet, and deeply calm. The kitchen rests fully now, warmth low, light soft, air still. A hush that feels like the whole room has draped itself in a blanket of night. And as the last of the warmth gently fades, the whole space settles into a deep, quiet stillness, inviting you to drift with it, slow and soft, into the gentle calm that fills the night. The quiet of the kitchen lingers softly in the air. Warm shadows settle against the counters, and the last traces of golden light fade into a gentle glow. Everything feels still, calm, and deeply at ease, as if the whole room has settled into its own slow breath. The warmth from the oven drifts faintly around the space, barely noticeable now, just a soft reminder of the comfort that filled the night. It touches the skin with a whisper of heat, then dissolves into the coolness that begins to gather at the edges of the room. The baked treat rests quietly on the counter. Its scent has softened, becoming a mellow sweetness that lingers in the air like a warm memory. Nothing strong, nothing demanding, just a gentle presence folding itself into the stillness. The chair nearby feels inviting. The body sinks into it with ease, as though returning to a familiar resting place. Muscles loosen, shoulders settle. The head grows a little heavier. The breath falls into a slower rhythm, carried by the softness of the quiet room. The house around the kitchen is calm. Hallways lie in darkness. Rooms rest in silence. Even the walls seem to have settled into the warm peace of the night. Everything feels suspended in a gentle stillness that asks for nothing at all. The air moves in slow waves. Inhale, warm and easy. Exhale, long and soft. Each breath deepens the sense of release, smoothing out the last bits of tension hiding in the body. The quiet grows fuller with every moment, wrapping around you like a soft, steady blanket. Shadows shift slowly as the lights dim. They gather in the corners, blending into one another until the room becomes a soft outline of familiar shapes. The kitchen no longer needs brightness. It rests, just as everything else rests, in the gentle hush of the evening. Thoughts drift in unhurried patterns. They rise and fall like faint clouds across a quiet sky. None of them linger long. None of them grip or pull. They simply drift, soft and distant, fading before they reach the surface. The warmth that once filled the kitchen has moved inward. It settles in the chest, a calm glow that eases through the ribs and into the belly. It brings a sense of fullness, of simple satisfaction, the kind that needs no words and asks for no action. The room grows dimmer still. The edges blur. The air cools slightly. Everything becomes softer, quieter, slower. Time stretches out like a gentle ribbon, unspooling at its own peaceful pace. Breath follows that pace naturally. The inhale comes without effort. The exhale slides out in a long, easy drift. The body grows heavier in the chair, pleasantly weighted, as if sinking into a deeper layer of calm. The sweetness in the air fades into memory. The warmth from earlier becomes a quiet echo, resting in the background of the mind. All that remains is a soft sense of comfort, like the final notes of a lullaby lingering after the music has finished. The kitchen settles completely now. Even the hum of the day is gone. The night holds everything in a gentle embrace, smoothing out the edges of sound and light until only stillness remains. Eyes may grow heavy. Breaths may slow to a quiet rhythm. Awareness may begin to blur, drifting toward the soft place between waking and sleep. The mind floats gently, cushioned by the warmth and quiet that fill the room. The home rests. The kitchen rests. The body rests. Everything around you aligns into a single, peaceful moment, unbroken and calm. The night deepens. The quiet grows thicker, like a soft veil closing gently over the room. Each passing second sinks deeper into stillness, drawing the body further into ease. Nothing needs to be held onto. Nothing needs to be done. This moment is simply a place to drift, supported by warmth and silence, carried by the soft rhythm of the night. Breath continues in soft waves. Warmth settles around the heart. The mind floats in a hazy, peaceful space where thoughts dissolve on their own, without effort. The world narrows to calm, a gentle calm that wraps around the body, loosens every muscle, and smooths every thought. A calm that allows you to drift wherever the night is gently guiding you. And as the kitchen fades fully into quiet, the whole space becomes a soft cradle of rest, inviting you to drift, slowly, easily, into a deep and peaceful sleep.